gain 6 pounds, lose 3 pounds. There's a little bit of rounding there, but basically that's the story. It's a lot easier to gain weight. And so I have to figure out how to transition. I'm going to try something called carb cycling. Next week will mark 6 months, basically 26 weeks since I started my Wegovy journey, since I started to take the drug Semaglutide, known as Wegovy. I started at the lowest dose, 0.25, and then I went up a month later to 0.5 and up a month later to 1.0, and then I thought, that was working and I was going to keep it there, and so that's why I left it and I doubled down on the 1.0. But you know what? Something just didn't feel as good. I think if I looked at the numbers, the weight loss had slowed down, although I was still losing weight, but I had days and periods of time which just seemed more stalled. And so I talked to the doc and said, let's go up, and so we did. We went to the 1.75 and then we went all the way to the 2.5. I've been on 2.5 for about 3 months now, although I stopped. I stopped for a period of 10 days. That's all it took me to gain 8.9 pounds, but I stopped for the period in late August up to and through Labor Day. Well, in the middle there was my birthday, and that came a few days before Labor Day, so I didn't diet during that period. In fact, during that whole period, I was somewhat gluttonous, I would have to say, but not wildly so. I could have been a lot worse. I could have had a lot more food. I could have had a lot worse food. I think Wegovy stays in your system, but I certainly was hungry and I certainly wanted to explore foods that I just hadn't been eating. I had things like deep dish pizza. I had barbecue ribs. I had bagel. I had a 3-star meal, like 14 courses at one of the world's best restaurants, listed in the top 50, and I think it's probably much higher than that. It was spectacular, but it wasn't healthy. I went to St. Louis and Chicago, and I had an opportunity to go into the American Airlines flagship lounge, and they have these big jars of Jelly Bellies and all sorts of flavors. I scooped up 2 big handfuls, and well, I'm sure that wasn't on anyone's diet. The result of all of this was that I gained 8.9 pounds in about 10 days, 6-something pounds a week. That tops, and this is a big point, that tops what I lost in any week. I mean, my biggest week of losing weight, I think, was 4 pounds. That was the first week. Then I had, a few other weeks that were in the 3-pound range. I said, oh, hooray, that's great, 3 pounds. Well, imagine gaining twice that in 1 week. So my takeaway from this is it's a lot easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight. I think we all knew that, but here we now have some numbers to it because I went back on the diet. I re-injected myself with Wegovy, somehow switched from Wednesdays to Mondays. I think Monday because I did it at the end of Labor Day that night. In the 10 days since then, I lost back a good amount of weight. I lost 6+ pounds and I felt good about that, but that's somewhere about 3 pounds a week. And again, you see the difference. Gain 6 pounds, lose 3 pounds. There's a little bit of rounding there, but basically that's the story. It's a lot easier to gain weight. And so I have to figure out how to transition. I'm going to try something called carb cycling. And that's what I will be doing. And basically, they designate days of the week as A, B, and C days, and there are different percentages of carbs, proteins, and fats that you can have on those days, and that scales up basically to you have what I would call, your good days and your bad days. It allows for some splurging, and that's off of about a 2,200 calorie diet if you're trying to do a maintenance type of diet. So that's where I'm trying to go. Right now I have a short-term goal. It's the next 1 to 2 weeks to get to 175 pounds. I don't know why. There's something magic about that. I just will feel better hitting that number. I've lost at least 4 inches. I've ordered new belts. I've ordered new jeans. I've even had those tapered and taken in. And so, I better stick to this or it's going to be damn expensive. It's going to be very frustrating and embarrassing. So I've got a lot of incentive to follow through and to start working out and to transition to some sort of diet. And if the carb cycling doesn't work, I'll have to find something else. But I'm going to try that. I'm going to report back how it is. As always, I will report back to you. You will have the information as I have it and as I share it with you. So stay in tune. Please subscribe. That will keep you up to speed with all of my new updates, whether they're regular or shorts. But the first thing to do right now is to please subscribe. If you subscribe, you're going to be kept up to speed with all my updates. Feel free to comment and to ask me questions below. And then also, please give me a thumbs up. I put a lot of work into this. I'm trying to share information with you. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Everybody's different, but as you're evaluating what to do, or you're going through something that's somewhat similar, my hope is that you can relate that we're all on the same journey. We're all on a Wegovy journey. We're all on a fitness journey. We're all on a getting healthy journey. And I hope that I can inspire you or give you confidence to take steps. And I will be reading some of your comments and posts and some of your information, and hopefully it's a mutual inspiration society here, and that's the goal that I'm looking for, in addition to hitting 175 and then figuring out how to keep it off. That's going to be the hardest part, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, thank you for watching and be well.